Hello everyone. I welcome you all to Experience Humanities. So, today we'll be discussing the rest of the parts of the chapter Power Sharing, class 10th. So, this is the second part of the video. So, if you did not see the first part, do visit the channel and see the first part so that you can have the clear understanding of the rest of the parts of the chapter. So, we'll be beginning with the accommodation in Belgium. Now, what is this actually? Accommodation means how the power was balanced in Belgium. We saw that in the previous video, how it was balanced in a kind of a state where the Dutch and the French people got equal representation in the in country, in Brussels and central government. So, the third thing that was most important and evident was community government for the community. Like the community, that is the French speaking, the German speaking, the Dutch speaking, all these communities were divided. So there was government to look after these small communities also, so that they can be administered very well. So we now move on to why power sharing is desired. Now, why it is desired, why it is important to share powers. The first thing, reduction of conflict. Now, when we are talking about the ethnic groups that are there in the country and they are always in a kind of a conflict manner, then always there the development will be hampered in a country, whether or not it is rich or poor. So, these conflicts are reduced to a kind of a state. The second thing is that equal representation of groups. Now, when conflicts are not there, then groups will be unified, they will work together, they will move into the progress and develop and prosper in their relative sphere. Okay? So, after that, very spirit of democracy. Now, when the groups are in an equal state, they are unified. Now, they can take part in the government, they can take part in the system by electing a representative whom they think is desired for that post or, very suitable for that post. So we can look into these things also. Now, prudential and moral reasons. Prudential means why the power sharing is important. What is the outcome of the sharing of powers? What is the result of sharing of powers? This is prudential. And moral is basically what values are required for sharing of powers. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind while studying why power sharing is important. The conflicts are reduced. Now, if conflicts are not there, then the representation would be equal in the groups. The spirit of democracy would not be hampered. And more upon that, the prudential and the moral reasons of the country would be in a straight and signified manner. Now, how this can be done? Forms of power sharing. Different organs of the government. Now, there can be organs that are independent. As we have seen that in India, there are legislative, judiciary, and parliament. That is basically why it is important. It is important because they are independent. They are at a state where the one power cannot go away from the guidelines of the constitution. If they go, they will be stopped by the other powers. So we can see how the different organs of the government are important as legislature, judiciary, executive. So this independence is required so that the guidelines or the representation of the people and the laws that are made is implemented, the justice is provided to the people. So these are important for sharing of powers. Now, different levels of government. Now, government should be divided in different levels. Why? So that the proper functioning and the implementation of the policies framed by the legislatures and the government is implemented in a kind of a manner that the country runs in a unified way. So, how this can be done? Different levels. As in India, we have center, which we also call union government. At the state level, we have state government. At the smaller level, even smaller level, we have community government or gram panchayats or jila panchayat. All these things are there so that every part of the country is unified. There is equal representation. The implementation of the policies are done in a signified manner, and the laws are made in an effective way. Now, different social groups. Now, social groups are important. Why? Because as we saw in the case of the Belgium, community government for communities. Now, these communities are required because the government can go in a way that is not discriminating the smaller groups that are also present except the larger ones. So we can see into these groups also, the community government for communities. So social groups can be important. Like in India, we have SC and ST, you can tell that. So these are smaller groups. They are given reservation in the country so that they are equal in representation to the rest of the urban or general who are in majority. Okay. So this is what is called social groups. Now, the last part is political parties and pressure groups. So this is the most important, and this would, be considered important because when there are different parties, there are different ideologies. The government can run in a signified manner. People can choose their desired party. As in India, we have different political parties ruling and at the center and the state level. So there is no kind of discrimination that this party did not get representation or this sect or group of people did not get representation. So all these things are required when you take into power sharing, and this is how political parties and pressure groups are important. So that one party cannot put the majority into the minor groups, because majority party can rule for a shorter period and it will look good for shorter period, because they will try to force the smaller party, and then the government cannot be stable. So they will be blaming the government for not implementing the policies for them. So this is what is called the political parties and the pressure groups. So I think the forms of government would be clear. So let us quickly revise once. Different organs, that is the government should be divided in a particular order, that is legislature, judiciary and executive, so that there are independence in power and they go according to the guidelines of the constitution. If anyone is away, then the other tells them that you are away, you should go into this direction. So this is the first part. Different levels of the government, that is central, union and state government, or you can say the smaller ones, that is jila or gram panchayats and all. We have, when we talk about social groups, now as we saw in Belgium, the accommodation of power was done by community governments for more smaller communities. As in India, we have SC and ST categories who we have reservations for. And these reservations are required for what? So that they can get equal representation on their respective spheres. When we talk about political parties and pressure groups, different political parties have different ideologies. They will rule in a different manner. So the people have options to go for this party if the previous one was not suitable for them. They did not do any work for them. So this can be done. Now, why is power sharing desired? Reduction of conflict, equal representation of the groups. The spirit of democracy is proved. The powers are distributed in a signified manner, unified government, all these things. So I hope you liked the video and you have understood the concepts of democracy. So if you do like the video heartily, then please press the like button. Do subscribe my channel and help us and inspire us to make good contents for you all, so that the fear of these subjects is removed from your mind. So thank you everyone. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.